Hello, dear viewers. Namaskar. Welcome to Moksha Media. You are with Moksha Hiremat. The Sharana movement of the 12th century of Common Era in the history of Karnataka brought so many changes in the society. It was a silent revolution. It changed the ways of common people and to a little extent the establishment. Basavanna was the leader of that Sharana movement. So many persons participated in that movement. The men and women, the young and old, the trodden and untrodden. Every strata of society participated in that movement and tried its best to change the prevailed system at that time. Of course, the persons who participated in the movement mostly were devotees of Shiva. That didn't mean others were not participated. Others were also participated with their identity. Of course, that is the characteristics of Indian social and devotional movement. One thing was very clear at that time. All of them were committed to social change regarding discrimination of gender, social inequality, and etc. etc. They stood for social justice without violent methods. Whatever we see in the 19th and 20th centuries of Common Era in Indian history could already be seen in the histories of different parts of India in the 12th century, 14th century, and etc. etc. Of course, the people who participated in the movement were commoners, but the leaders were uncommon who led the commoners towards the social change. So anyhow, the Sharana movement is a unique in so many aspects in the 12th century of Common Era in Karnataka's history. Of course, it is a model even today in so many aspects. That is why whenever someone tries to concentrate on the social justice, they look at Sharana's movement of Karnataka. Because it brought almost all changes in all the fields of the society. It may not it may not be reached the point to the extent we expect, but at the same time, it had gone ahead to a little extent. That should not be forgotten. Of course, even women participated in the Sharana's movement and they gave voice to their ills, to their problems, to their inequalities, to their social evils. They used vachanas as their tools. Of course, vachanas are a literary form in the literary history of Kannada language. In the 12th century of Common Era, that Vachana has reached its climax, I think. Of course, after that also, the literary form Vachana has been continued. Even today, so many people use Vachana form in their writings. They quote so many Vachanas. Of course, the stalwarts led the movement. It was a committed devotional movement. The participants called themselves the devotees of Shiva. Whatever movement takes place in India, it would be in the form of devotion. It would be in the form of bhakti and etc. Because the participants would like to show their spirituality even in condemning the social evils. That is why we see these Sharanas who committed to social change were devotees of Shiva. They believed in all sorts of things, that is, the rational things. At that time, it was a kind of rationality. Now, some behaviors of them might be seen as irrational, but at that time, it was rational. Because social change depends upon social steps, one by one. Those steps can be understood in Sharana movement. Of course, even women participated in that social movement, and Neelamma was one of them. She was the daughter of Siddharasa, a chief accountant in the kingdom of Vijaya. Neelamma was also foster daughter of the king Vijaya. She was the second wife of Basavanna. Of course, she claimed herself as the intellectual wife of Basava. It is said that she had a son. His name was Balasangaya. He was died at the young age. We don't have that much of history regarding our complete lifestyle. Of course, it is common in case of every Sharana, and Neelamma is not an exception to this. Of course, she composed so many vachanas. It is said that she composed 288 vachanas. It is more than 288, but now 288 vachanas are available. She used the signature Sangaya in her vachanas. It is a common characteristic in composers of vachanas that they use their own signature, either this or that, whether men or women. And Neelamma used her signature as a Sangaya in her vachanas. Of course, being the intellectual wife of Basava, she expressed her own desires, she expressed her own thoughts, and she told how it affected how she was different from others also. Being an intellectual wife of a leader is not that much of easy as we think. They had to face so many problems in the society. Of course, Neelamma faced all those problems and stood against the ill wills of the society, against the blind beliefs of the society. Of course, yes, she was the intellectual wife of Basava. It may not be, it is understood that she lived in the 12th century of Common Era. She lived round about the Common Era of 1160. Neelamma was not a composer simply, but she was a cultured composer. Others were there in the Sharana movement. They did not know letters even, but they composed vachanas. After they expressed their vachanas, they were recorded and edited afterwards. But Neelamma was a different one. Her vachanas were edited, no doubt about it, and as she was belonged to the palace, she knew the etiquettes of men and manners. That is why we could see some of the changes in her vachanas compared to others. Here, I would like to quote two of her vachanas. The vachana goes like this. Do not exult in gain. Do not be vexed in loss. Do not exult in gain. Do not be vexed in loss. O heart, console yourself. Gain is not in your hands. Loss is not a matter of your will. Gain is not in your hands. Loss is not a matter of your will. All happiness, all pleasures are as Sangaya wills. Of course, Neelamma talked of happiness. But here, the happiness is not defined. It is not a place to be defined here. Simply, happiness in common understanding is used. It is common, whenever a man gets a lot of wealth, he becomes very, very happy. And when he gets lost, of course, he becomes unhappy. And he gets angry also. That is why Neelamma tells, to the heart, console yourself. That is, need not be happy, need not be unhappy. So heart, console yourself. So heart, control yourself. See, whatever you get is not in your hands, and whatever you lost is not in your will. That is, getting and losing something is not in your hand, is not in your will. So, all happiness, all pleasures are as a Sangaya wills. So, whatever happiness is there, whatever wealth is there, whatever gains are there, whatever loss is there, that is the will of Sangaya. According to will and wish of Sangaya, we gain and we lose. That is why we need not to worry of those things. So, as a mundane woman, she expressed her thoughts in this Vachana. Another Vachana. There is no shade to be found in a leafless tree. There is no light to be found in a burnt out lamp. There is no form to be found in a disfigured idol. There is no sound to be found in Basava, in whom sounds are no more. In Sangaya, I became a bodiless soul, blessed. So here, she tells how the leafless tree doesn't provide the shade, how the burnt lamp does not give us the light, how the disfigured idol should have the form, should have no form. And of course, we should not find any sound in Basava because he doesn't have no more sounds. Of course, it gives so many meanings. Here simply we confine ourselves to the sound. See, in one way or another way, it refers to the changes in the society, it refers to the success and failure of those changes. Of course, most of the Vachanakaras praise Basava, but here Neelamma does not praise him, does not blame him. She simply put forth her thoughts and feelings regarding Basava. Basava doesn't produce any sound because there is no sound at all. There is no more sound at all. So, that Sangaya she became bodiless soul and blessed. Sangaya blessed her and she became a bodiless soul. So here, at the end of the Vachana, we come to know how Neelamma turned her emotions and feelings towards the spirituality. Before the end of the Vachana, we can see the mundane things. But at the end of a Vachana, That is, at the last line of the Vachana, we come to know the expression of spirituality, and which says life is nothing, sometimes everything. The soul is everything, and the God, that is Sangaya, blessed us. So like this, Neelamma goes on and on, expressing her thoughts and emotions in her vachanas. But anyhow, when we want to study and research the 12th century Sharanath movement of Common Era in Karnataka, we should look at Neelamma from in a different ways. If you look at her in a different ways, she may give different insights and foresights regarding the social change and equality of gender. That is what we can see in Neelamma's vachanas, and that is the personality of Neelamma. My dear viewers, share and mainly subscribe, and see you in the next episode. Namaskar. Thank you.